Let's open the book on page 54 to solve the third exercise from the listening and speaking part of this unit. Graham Williams and Harold Stoughton fought in World War I and were on sentry duty on that Christmas Eve. Many years later, they recorded their experiences that night. Listen to part 2. How is their account similar to the scene in the play? What is no man's land? Graham Williams وهارولد ستارتون حاربوا بالحرب العالمية الأولى، وكانت مهمتهم الحراسة بليلة الميلاد. بعد عدة سنين هن سجلوا الشي اللي صار معهم بهيدي الليلة. بدنا نسمع للجزء الثاني ونقول كيف كان الشي يلي قالوه قريب من السين يلي سمعناه بالبلاي بالسيشن السابق. وشو بيقصدوا بنو مان's land؟ أرض ما بتنتمي لأي حدا. Let's listen to the tape script to answer these questions.
Tape script 6.9. Part 2.
Graham Williams and Harold Stoughton's account of the Christmas truce.
That scene from the West End musical of the 1960s, Oh What a Lovely War, is a pretty accurate illustration of the kind of thing that happened in several places on the Western Front on that Christmas Eve of 1914. Listen to the account of someone who was actually there. Graham Williams, a rifleman with the London Rifle Brigade, was on sentry duty that night.
On the stroke of 11 o'clock, which by German time was midnight, because they were an hour ahead of us, lights began to appear all along the German trenches. And then people started singing. They started singing Heilige Nacht, Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht, Silent Night. So I thought, well, this is extraordinary. And I woke up all the other chaps, and all the other sentries must have done the same thing to come and see what was going on. And they sang this carol right through, and we responded with English Christmas carols, and they replied with German again. And we came to Come All Ye Faithful. They joined in singing that with us, and they're singing it in Latin, Adeste Fidelis.
So by the time you got to that carol, both sides were singing the same carol together?
Both singing the same carol together. Then after that, one of the Germans called out, "Come over and see us, Tommy, come over and see us." So I could speak German pretty fluently in those days. So I told back, I said, "No, you come over and see us." I said, "Nein, come and see Herr Fritz." And well, nobody did come that time, and eventually the lights all burnt out and quietened down and went on with the usual routine for the night. Next morning, I was asleep when I woke up. I found everyone was walking out into no man's land, meeting the Germans, talking to them, and a wonderful scene, couldn't believe it.
Further along the line, in the perfect weather, Private Harold Stoughton of the Old Contemptibles was enjoying that morning too. He couldn't speak any German, but that didn't stop him making friends.
We were Tommy to them, and they were all Fritz to us. If you'd met your brother, they couldn't have been more cordial towards you, or sharing their goodies with you. They were giving us cigars, not as big as your arm, and tobacco.
Were you frightened at first? Were you suspicious at all? Because these were people that you'd been trained to hate, weren't they?
No, there was no hatred. We'd got no grudge against them. They'd got no grudge against us. See, we were the best of pals. Although we were there to kill one another, there were no two ways about that at all. They helped us bury our dead, and we've buried our dead with their dead. I've seen many a cross with a German name and number on, and a British name and number on, in death not divided.
Did you do other work during the truce as well? Was it just burying the dead, or were there other things you
there
got
were
done?
Strengthening the trenches, borrowing their tools.
You actually borrowed German tools
We
to
borrowed
strengthen your
German
trenches?
tools. They'd lend it you, they'd come and help you strengthen your defences against them.
بعد ما سمعنا التيب script, try to answer these questions on your own in the coming quiz, and then we will solve them together. بعد ما خلصتوا الكويز خلينا نشوف شو المفروض يكونوا الإجابات. أول part من السؤال يلي هو how is their account similar to the scene in the play. بحسب ما سمعنا بالسيشن السابقة, they refer to the singing coming from the German trenches and German soldiers calling out to them. الشي يلي بيشبه بعضه برواية غرام وهارولد والمقطع يلي سمعناه بالسيشن السابقة من البلاي هو إنه كان في أغاني بلشوا من الخنادق الألمانية والجنود الألمان كانوا عم بينادوا البريطانيين لحتى يغنوا معهم. أما البارت الثاني من السؤال يلي هو What is no man's land؟ شو هي الأرض يلي ما بتنتمي لحدا؟ فالإجابة هي No man's land is the area between the two opposing lines, which belongs to neither side. هي المكان يلي موجود بين الخطوط الدفاعية لكل فريق، وهيدي المنطقة ما بتنتمي لأي جهة، وهي كانت المنطقة يلي التقوا فيها الجنود تبعول الفريقين مع بعضهم on Christmas morning بحسب الروايات يلي نقالت. وهيك منكون خلصنا حل Exercise 3 من ال Listening and Speaking part لهيدي اليونت.